Hey guys, this is going to be a first impressions video on Dragonflight. This is going to be just for Brewmaster. May do Windwalker in the future, we'll see. But this is just going to go right over the talent tree and a few builds that I think are going to be here. So first we'll go over the Monk General tree. This is going to be for every single Monk spec, not just Brew. So first off, you can take Tiger's Lust, Soothing Mist, or Rising Sun Kick to start off your tree. If you take one, then it unlocks the next step. So to get our Dispel, you have to take Tiger's Lust. Let me just go to this build. So take Tiger's Lust, you get Detox, and Rising Sun gives you something called Calming Presence. This reduces all damage taken by 3%. You can also have to take Tiger's Lust to get Paralyzed. You can also get into Disable, which is something Brewmaster has never had, or hasn't had at least for a long time. Going straight down from Rising Sun Kick, you get Calming Presence. You go to Vivify, and then you get something called Instant Cast Vivify. This allows your Vivify to be instant cast, obviously, which is really nice for Brew. This is something we desperately need. This is such a nice change. If you go to the Mist, you go down here. This gives you your 2 roll charges, so you'll definitely want this if you like rolling a lot. This gives you Tiger Tail Sweep. This was a Azurite trait, or not an Azurite, this is a talent, I think. And this increased the range of Leg Sweep, so it's really good. Heavy Air, increased range, crackling, lightning, that's whatever, you don't really need that. Grace of the Crane, healing, increase all healing taken by 2 to 4%. This could be really good on some raid fights. You might want to keep that in mind. And then Elusive Mist, reduce damage taken while channeling Soothing Mist by 36%. So all that's pretty on the Soothing Mist side. Going back to over here, you go down from Rising Sun Kick, Calming Presence, Detox, and then Ferocity of Zwen, increase all damage dealt by 4%. Pretty good, right? Free 4% damage, why not? Transcendence, you add a talent into this now. Not sure why. But yep, there you go. And then here, then you go down to talent into your taunt. You add a talent into Fortifying Brew and Kick as well. So any dungeon or fight that doesn't need Kick, just remove this point. You don't need it. Fortifying Brew. This is just your straight up Fort Brew. Same thing as Alive, and it gets augmented by this. This is either Fortifying Brew also increases dodge and armor by 25%, or cooldown reduced by 2 minutes. Pretty good. Going back over here, this is the defensives. So Diffuse Magic. Brew finally, after so many years, gets Diffuse Magic. Fantastic. This is going to be amazing. It's going to help shore up our damage taken from magic damage. It's going to be fantastic. Amazing. Eye of the Tiger, pretty standard. Everyone knows what Eye of the Tiger is. Just a little bit of free damage. Dampen Harm. Again, free access to this defensive. We don't have to miss out on anything. We just pick it, get to keep it forever. Touch of Death, same as Live. Same thing as Touch of Death and Live. Expel Harm, same thing as Live. Shut talent into it. Over here, Roll Out. During roll, you're immune to roots and snares. Pretty good. Could be useful in some dungeons yet. Chi Wave, Chi Burst, whichever one you want. Same thing on Live. Then we're going to get into some different stuff. Escape from Reality. This is the legendary where you press Transcendence. Your Transcendence transfer can be used twice within 10 seconds. And your Vivify on yourself is 70% more effective, 50% reduced in cost. Not sure what the second point's supposed to do. It doesn't actually do anything at the moment, but there's what it is. Windwalking. This is the Windwalker passive. Increases movement speed of allies by 4%, 2 points. This is the good stuff. Close to heart. You and your allies within whatever yards gain an additional 2 to 4% leash. 2 points goes to 4. Very good. Fantastic party buff. Wonderful. Touch of Death. Fatal cooldown. Or Fatal Touch. 1 minute Todd. Super good. It's going to be great for Brewmaster and Dungeons. Generous Pour. This is the Leech one, but now it's Avoidance. Same thing. Party buff. You can take a talent in both at the same time. Fantastic. Moving down to the final 3. Bounce back when a hit deals more than 20% of your max HP. Reduce all damage by X amount for 6 seconds. We don't know the base amount on this. I'm assuming it's not a lot. It's probably like 5%. 4 or 5%. Something like that. And Resonant Fist, when 3 consecutive abilities hit more than 3 enemies, deal additional damage. This is free damage, basically, for using, like, Cake Smash, Breath of Fire, RJW. Boom. 3 consecutive abilities. When your healing spells heal more than 3 people, below 35% heal for additional percent. This is a good Mistweaver thing. This will probably never be used as a brew. Summon Jade Serpent statue. If you play Mistweaver, you know exactly what this is. Just a statue that channels through the mist on whatever target you put it on. Summon Black Ox statue. All brews are familiar with this, but we never use it in dungeons because we can't. Because we have to choose between that and Ring of Peace. This is going to be amazing for aggro, and can't wait to have this back. Don't know what this is. We're assuming it's a like tiger statue, but we'll see. Now moving on to the good stuff. Actually, overall thoughts of this tree. I think the brew general or the monk general tree is amazing. So many good things that you can do. I really like it. I really like that you have access to all these defensives, taunts, CCs, and it's very easy. I also like that you have party buffs now. Brew or Monk hasn't had party buffs since like Legacy of the Emperor or whatever it was called. Oh, I also forgot Celerity and Chi Torpedoes right here. If you guys ever missed those, and Fast Feed is just Rising Sun Kick and Spinning Critical Damage increase. Forgot about these two. My fault. All right, now our Brewmaster. First trait, Keg Smash. Gotta have it. Second passive, Stagger. So basically, you're talenting in two things that make Brewmaster, and then we move down here, and it's the other two things that literally make the class: Purifying Brew and Shuffle. You pretty much have to take these two. Like, there's literally, you have to. It literally makes the class function. If you didn't have this, then you just take a shit ton more damage for no reason. We're gonna go left side then right side. So hit scheme from familiar Torghast. You know exactly what this does. Whenever you hit Blackout Kick on a target, increase the damage of your next Keg Smash by 10%, up to 40. So pretty good. Gift of the Ox. Everyone should know what this is. This is your healing spheres. So whenever you take damage, you have a chance to summon a healing sphere, and it heals you for a bunch of stacks. So if you have Expel Harm, this lets you suck in all the healing spheres at once. Gives you a big heal. Really, really nice. Healing Elixir. Drink Healing Elixir, healing you 50% of max HP. This is something you never take on live, but now you have the option to, and you don't have to sacrifice other things for it if you really want to. Here's Celestial Brew down here. For your bread and butter, you got to take this. This is literally what makes you tanky right now. Like, you'd be so weak without this. Staggering Strike. This is a BFA Azurite trait. Whenever you Blackout Kick, your stagger is reduced by 50, stacking up to 2. I assume it's 100 points at the end. I haven't clicked it yet. But yeah, this is okay. Not really that good. It's like 100 stagger every whatever seconds on your Blackout Kick. It's okay. Celestial Flames. This is a talent at the end of our talent tree on live right now. Pretty much no one ever takes it because it's competing with high tolerance. So maybe gets play now because you can have both, but we'll see. Probably not. Breath of Fire. This is your baseline Breath of Fire. You have talent into it now, so if you want it, you can have it. If you don't, you don't. Celestial Brew rank 2. This is what makes your Celestial Brew big. This is the Purify increases your Celestial Brew by up to 200%. Super need this one. Moving down, this is where you choose between Bob and Weave and Black Ox Brew, so you can choose one of these two. Fortifying Brew. This is not base Fortifying Brew. This is upgraded Fortifying Brew to make it the Brewmaster one that you know on live. This is the one that increases your stagger and stuff. Over here, Scalding Brew. This is our conduit from live. And Sal Salabim Strength. When you use Keg Smash, the remaining cooldown of Breath of Fire is reset. This is a legendary from Legion. Really good. Increase your Breath of Fire uptime to 100% on any mob. So even if you pull in new mobs, you're immediately going to get it back up on them. Pretty good trait. I think it's nice. It's not bad. Moving down, we have Charred Passions, Legion Legend, or not Legion, Shadowlands Legendary. I'm sure people used it a lot in Raid back then. I don't remember, but it could be potentially pretty good now with some synergy with some other talents. Dragonfire Brew, Legion Artifact trait. I'm pretty sure. Just increase your Breath of Fire damage whenever you have a shit ton of stagger. It makes your Breath of Fire do a little bit more damage. Then there's High Tolerance. They reduced its effectiveness by 1% total, so it's 4% stagger instead of 5. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, somewhere around there. Same talent you know and love, is free stagger. Walk with the Ox, abilities at Grand Shuffle. This is our, what do you call it? Our conduit. So this is our Nizao conduit. It's super, super strong. You're going to want this if you talent in Nizao. Highly recommend it. But moving down, Bone Dust Brew. Bone Dust Brew returns. We no longer have to switch covenants for this bad boy. And then you had to choose between the conduit and the legendary. So this is kind of an awkward choice. I feel like the conduit should have been baked in because it kind of makes Bone Dust Brew function, you know. But that's okay. Having to choose between the legendary and the conduit's a bit weird, but there's the conduit and the legendary. Moving down to the center, we have Invoke Nizao. Good old buddy Nizao coming back. Obviously, a synergize will Aqua the Ox. And then Invoke Nizao. This is the rank 2. This is the what makes your Purify increase the stomp damage. This is, you pretty much have to have this if you take Nizao. It would be pointless to take it without this. So you need this. Exploding Keg. Our good old friend Exploding Keg from back in Legion has returned, and it has been buffed. So on live, the second part of this, so you see it deals damage and does the missing melee attacks thing. That's not there on live. But the second part, causing your attacks against the deal additional 13 under fire damage. This also works on AoEs, from what I was testing in dungeons, like spinning crank kick. I'm not sure if it works on every tick of Rushing Jadewind, but at least like once every little bit. I might have an ICD on the ability, so that's probably why. But yeah, it's really good synergy with spinning crank kick stuff. So fantastic now. Really love the new Exploding Keg. Let's go down the right side now. Quick Sip. Every 3 seconds of shuffle, you gain Purify. You purify 1% of your damage delayed by stagger, up to 2%. I assume if you take 2 points. And then Rushing Jadewind Special Delivery. Choose between whichever one you want. Same as live, you had to choose. Quick Sip. I think this is okay. It's not great. It's pretty meh, but on a long fight, I could see it being good. Graceful Exit. After you successfully dodge or an enemy misses you, you gain 5% movement speed for 3 seconds. It's pretty much 100% uptime in a pack. Pretty good. If you're having to kite, you'll have to dip back in to refresh it though. Zen Meditation. Everyone knows what this is. Reduces all damage taken by 60% for 6 seconds. Anytime, but if you get hit by a melee attack, or you press another button, it cancels it immediately. So this is a full channel, and you have to not be meleeed. This is usually used for big hits or spells. Clash, our good old friend Clash is coming back. I know a lot of people don't like this ability, so now you have the option to not have it. So if you do not like this ability, you don't have it, but it is a very good toolkit in M+, to root mobs, and do CC it in general, honestly. So our friend Clash is back. Facepalm, remember this from Legion, is one of our traits. Tiger Palm has 10% chance to deal 300% normal damage and reduce remaining cooldowns of brews by 1 additional second. Really good single target talent. Fantastic. We definitely want that. New talent here, Fundamental Observation. Zen Med is a 25% reduced cooldown, is no longer cancelled when you move or when you are hit by melee attacks. This is going to be an amazing thing in M+. One, because now we can deal with casters inside of the pack without having to worry about Zen Med being cancelled, which is amazing. Super needed change. I think this is a great talent. Moving over here, Strength of Spirit Expel Harm Healing is increased by up to 200% based on your missing health. This could be good, but Expel Harm's base healing is not very good. Like, even if you increase it by 200%, it's not that much. So this is okay. I don't really like it that much. Guy Pins, Imperial Brew. Purifying Brew instantly heals you for 25% of purified stagger damage. This is going to be fantastic in higher keys. This is going to be amazing. Heavy stagger is very prominent in high keys. Even in like lower keys, if you're lower geared, you're going to get a lot of healing from this. So this is a great talent. Down here, you get to choose between Training and Nizao. If anyone played in BFA, you remember this. One of our best Azerite traits is just flat mastery based on your stagger. It's the high tolerance, basically. So instead of getting you haste, it gives you mastery. Pretty good. Light Brewing, just cooldown reduction on your brews. Nothing new. Moving over here, new talent, Shocking Blow. Dragonflight Jade Lightning deals 40% less damage and has a cost of 40 energy, but is now instant and causes your next blackout kick against the target to shock them, dealing an additional nature damage. I don't really see the benefit of this. I could maybe see it combined with Shadow Boxing Treads right here. So this is the Torghast trait that makes your Blackout Kick cleave. I could see it combined with this if you're in a boss fight that you had to pick up ads with Kraken and Jade Lightning a bunch. But otherwise, it's kind of useless. It doesn't you never want to press Kraken. 40 energy is a lot of energy. You could use that on so many other things. But if it does a lot of damage, maybe. Fluidity and Motion Blackout Kick cooldown reduced by 1 second and its damage by 10%. So you basically choose between damage and cleave or fluid or cooldown reduction. And right now, since hit scheme is so high in the tree or so low and so early in the tree, you'll want Shadow Boxing Treads 100% if you go down this path. Moving down, elusive footwork. Good old BFA trait returns once again. Increased damage on blackout kick. Blackout kick crits and grant a stack of elusive brawler. Wonderful. Anvil and stave. This trait is so good. Each time you dodge an enemy or misses you, the remaining cooldown of your brews is reduced by 1 second. This is amazing. Like you're gonna proc this off fucking cooldown in M+. It's so good. Love this trait. Counter-Strike, this is also amazing. Brand new trait. Each time you dodge or an enemy misses you, your next Tiger Palm or Spinning Crane deals 100% increased damage. Right now, I've tested this. It is 100% uptime in a pack. You can literally just spam Spinning Crane Kick all the time. And this has amazing synergy, once again, with Charred Passions. So you have the 100% from the Counter-Strike and 100% from this. Pretty good. Going down, Weapons of Order, a good old friend Weapons of Order returns from Shadowlands. This is a you press Keg Smash, hit it again, and then you get another charge of Keg Smash. And then it increases your mastery by a flat 10%, and each Keg Smash increases the damage they take by 8%, stacking up to 32%. Maybe, yeah, 32%. And then moving over, Blackout Combo. They revamped this a little bit, so the first one is the same, increased damage by Tiger Palm by 100% after you use Blackout Kick. Second one is Breath of Fire, periodic damage increased by 50%, damage reduction increased by 5%. This is really good. This makes your Breath of Fire deal a lot more damage periodically. Keg Smash, reduce the remaining cooldown of your brews by 2 additional seconds. That's okay. Slush your brew, gain up to 3 additional stacks of Purified Chi. It's okay for getting an early 10 stack. You can go over 10, I assume, with that. Purifying Brew, causes stagger damage for 3 seconds. It's okay. And then Storm Stouts. So this are everyone missed this when this was gone in BFA. Not having 2 charges of Keg Smash sucks, so I'm really glad that it's back. But yeah, that's the whole talent tree. So overall impressions of the Brew talent tree is it's kind of weird having to talent into these two. Like this is like a core part of so you had to talent into 2 charges Purify, Celestial Brew upgrade, and Celestial Brew. I don't like that you had to talent into these 3. It's kind of weird. That's your base, right? Like that's what makes brew. So having to talent into these is weird. Talenting into these 2, I guess, makes sense because it like branches the tree. It makes the tree work, I guess. So they might as well put something that you need in there. It kind of like you're literally required to take this. You can't fill out the tree without it. So I think that's okay, I guess. But I really don't like that Celestial Brew and 2 charges of Purifying Brew are on the talent tree. I think the 2 charges should just be placed with the base of this because 1 charge just sucks. So why would you want that? But other than that, I like the tree. It's the only really change I'd make. So we're gonna go over builds now. So first build here, Weapons of Order build. We'll go over the general tree is gonna be the same in each and every build. I'll go over that one really quick. So we start off with Rising Sun Kick Tigers List to the top, Calming Presence, Paralyze, Detox 100%. Oh, these are M+ builds, by the way. All of these are M+ builds, no raid builds yet. I'll make a raid build eventually when I get to do raid testing. So yeah, Detox, 100% you want this, just in case. You could talent out of this if the dungeon doesn't require, but you'll want it to connect in so you get Ferocity as when. All damage dealt by 4%. Fantastic, you'll always want this. Vivify and Instant Vivify, I think these are insanely valuable in M+. You have to take them. Off healing your group is amazing. And that it being instant cast is even better. Transcendence, super useful tool. You'll always want this. Taunt, obviously you need this as the tank. You literally have to have this. Spear and Strike, have to have this. You need kicks in dungeons. Paralyze cooldown, this is just a branch. You have to take this anyway to get Fort Brew. Fort Brew, have to take this. One of your only cooldowns is a brew. Fort Brew increase, I do 2 minutes right now. So you want 2 minutes. The armor and dodge is whatever. It's kind of Maybe in a melee heavy dungeon, you'd want this one more. Celerity over Chi Torpedo. I do not like Chi Torpedo at all. I'm not a fan of it. I don't want it. So, Celerity for me. You can do whichever one you want. Does not matter. It's very personal preference. I do 1 trait of Fast Feet. So you could do 2, but I think 1 is okay. 1 is fine. It's only 5% damage on spinning crane kick. We get Ring of Peace. Again, required. You gotta have Ring of Peace. Chi Wave over Chi Burst. I like Chi Wave more. It's better self-healing. Diffuse Magic. Have to take this. If there's 0 magic damage done, which is very unlikely, then don't take this. But I would take this 100% of the time. Such a low cooldown. So good. Eye of the Tiger, free damage. This is what I take over the second trait of Fast Feet. I take free Eye of the Tiger and Chi Wave. So I get both of these for the Ka and for not taking one of these. Dampen Harm, again, just free cooldown. No reason not to have it. You can just talent into it now. And you don't have to sacrifice. Touch of Death, gotta have this. One of your bread and butter. Expel Harm, you gotta have this. This is your AoE avoidance. Almost every dungeon has some AoE ability, so you want this to help your party. This is just free damage reduction. You definitely want this in M+. And 1 minute cooldown on Todd. This is going to be super good in M+, because you'll be able to just execute any hard mob every minute instead of every 3 minutes. Right now on live, you had to do it every 3 minutes, but now if you can do it every 1 minute, that's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. And this is, again, just free damage. If it's a very damage-heavy dungeon, you could get rid of this and take 2 points in Escape from Reality. This is going to increase your self-healing by a shit ton. Super good. Let's go over the brew tree. So this is going to be a Weapons of Order build. And we'll go break it down really quick. So you've seen all these trees, so we're going to go Keg Smash, Stagger, Purify, Shuffle, get all 3 of these immediately. We're going to go Rushing Jade Wind instead of Special Delivery with Weapons of Order, because it's I just like it better. Special Delivery's okay, but it's not my favorite. And then Gift of the Ox, you got to take that. Hit Scheme, so you're basically just filling out the top of this tree besides these 2. You don't really need these 2. We go down to Celestial Brew, then get Celestial Brew Upgrade, then we go down to Zen Meditation. Gotta get Zen Med. We do not get Clash or Graceful Exit, and you'll see why, because of how scarce the points are. So we get Breath of Fire, then we go down to Fort Brew. This gives us our Fort Brew. Purifying 2 charges, you gotta have it. Then we get Bob and Weave. So now we have Bob and Weave, Dampen, and Diffuse. We have 3 of our major defensives as brew just for free now. Fantastic. We get Nizao, we get Light Brewing, we get Face Palm, and we get Guy Pins, Imperial Brew. So we get all of these. And then we get Shadow Boxing Treads that have synergy with Hit Scheme. We get 2 traits of Anvil and Stave, 1 in Counter Strike. This is just amazing in M+. Like I said, it has good synergy with Exploding Keg, because you're gonna be pressing Spinning Crank more often. We get Walk with the Ox, get our second Nizao, we get Exploding Keg, we get Storm Stats, then we get Weapons of Order, and then Effusive Anima Accelerator. So I guess I forgot to go over these 2. I'm sorry. But yeah, this gives you your Unity Legendary, and this gives you your Capstone trait from Brawn. So fantastic. This basically makes your Weapons of Order 120 seconds. Yeah, this is the Weapons of Order build. So basically the idea of this build is, so this gives you your Weapons of Order cooldown, and you get your double Keg Smash. So you need double Keg Smash if you're playing Weapons of Order, otherwise you're just missing out on free damage, right? You're missing out on a whole Keg Smash, worth of time before you get your 4 stacks. So it's good. It's fantastic synergy. This gives you all the stuff you had before minus Clash, and it gives you some fancy new stuff with Anvil and Stave, Counter Strike, and Guy Pins. And it also gives you Exploding Keg. I really think Exploding Keg is going to be a big player in M+, so I hope you guys try it. I think it's going to be amazing. At its current state, it does a lot of damage. So yeah. All right. I would use this build in any dungeon where you're safe to do a lot of damage. Like where you could just don't care about anything but damage. So I would definitely recommend that build here. So let's go on to build 2. This is going to be the Breath of Fire build. So you notice everything's the same, except instead of we going down the Weapons of Order side, which we still go over here, we still go down the Weapons of Order side, we make sure we get Counter Strike. It's going to have synergy with that Charred Passions I talked to you guys about. So we go down here to Breath of Fire. We get Salabim Strength. This is going to be 100% uptime of Breath of Fire, which you need for the build. And this also lets us trigger Charred Passions and keep it up 100% of the time. So this build is basically going to have 100% uptime on Charred Passions, 100% uptime on Counter Strike, and then you're going to synergize that with Bone Dust Brew and Exploding Keg. So you're going to be proccing Exploding Keg from your spinning crin kicks, and your Breath of Fire ticks. Actually, no, I think it's just the initial damage Breath of Fire. So initial damage from Breath of Fire, some of your spinning crin kick ticks, and yeah, so this is going to be really good. So you're going to have the synergy from Sharp Actions and Counter Strike. Those are going to overlap with your Bone Dust Brew and have insane synergy with your Bone Dust Brew. You're gonna have double keg smash. You're gonna have perma. You're like, so you're gonna have perma Sharp Actions of time. It's gonna be amazing. So yeah, that's the synergy with this build. This build I have not tested enough, and it can be really good, but I have no idea yet. In theory, this build is going to be the most damage in M+, while offering the safety of brew cooldown reduction from Bone Dust Brew. Yeah, I really like this build. I think it's going to be one of the, I think it might be the highest AoE damage build that we have. And pretty good single target as well. Yeah, fantastic. I definitely think this could be a good build. And then, one second, let me apply this. And then I can switch builds. Then I go to build 2. One second, we'll just change. Alright, so this is the last build. This is the third build. So you see, basically I just remove the weapons of order, put 1 point in Anvil and Stave, and then put 1 point in Bone Dust, or 2 points in High Tolerance, 1 point in Bone Dust Brew. So basically this is kind of like the middle ground between the weapons of order build and the Dragonfire build, or the Breath of Fire build, in terms of safety and offensive. So this has a little bit more safety with Anvil and Stave right here. It also gives you Bob and Weave. So if you notice in the Breath of Fire build, you cannot get Bob and Weave because you can't get enough points to get all the other synergies. So this gives you Bob and Weave, and this gives you Anvil and Stave. So this is going to be a lot tankier, but it's still going to keep the Counter-Strike, Bone Dust Brew, Exploding Keg, the synergy between these three. So basically you're trading the Breath of Fire uptime and damage for Bob and Weave and Anvil and Stave. That's basically what you're trading. So this is going to be the middle ground build between both builds. It's going to be more tanky. This is going to be a really tanky build, and the Breath of Fire build is going to be super heavy damage, and the Weapons of War is going to be pretty tanky. It's going to be damage dealy, but a little bit more tanky. So I think this build is going to be the best middle ground in high keys, but if you can get away with the Breath of Fire build, you should definitely do it. I like this build more. I like the Breath of Fire build. Let me apply these changes. It's really hard to switch talents sometimes. So I think this build's going to be fantastic in high keys, if you can live. Missing the Bob and Weave might hurt in melee heavy damage keys, and missing Anvil and Stave is going to hurt in some keys as well. But overall, I think the best build, which I've been trying the most, is this build, the middle ground build. I think this build's the best. I'll have a link to all these builds below in the comments, so you guys can check them out yourselves. And yeah, that's my overview of the tree. Is a couple things. One, Brew got a lot of amazing stuff in the general tree, being able to get access to dampen or diffuse and dampen, and instant cast Vivify. All of that's amazing. They've needed that. Instant cast Vivify helps us out a lot if you're maximizing yourself. Chi Wave and Eye of the Tiger, we no longer have to choose. We get both of these no matter what. That's just going to increase our damage and self-healing by a decent amount. The party traits are amazing. I'm so glad Monk got a party trait. This is going to help them get picked up in dungeons more. Especially in M+, you're going to want at least one Monk. 4% avoidance is a lot. Rising Sun Kick being added is okay. It's nice single target damage, so it's whatever. The Brew tree itself, though, I am very pleased with. Again, the only change I want is Purifying Brew 2 charges to be removed. Put Clash here. So move Clash over here. And remove this extra Celestial Brew. And then, put something else there. Anything else there. Maybe put Anvil and Stave there or something. But I don't like the I guess you could leave this. Purifying 2 charges should definitely be moved with Clash, so you can pick up Clash. Because this is silly that it's not with this. So I think that's silly. Purifying brew should have 2 charges baseline, and class should be moved over here. And I also think roll 2 charges should be baseline, but what can you do? You can get 2 charges of roll from celerity, so I guess it's a workaround since you really don't want to move down the soothing mist tree. It's kind of useless. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all of it. I'm really looking forward to showing you guys these builds in upcoming dungeons and M Plus when they start testing it. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video and enjoy.